another live before lock show. We'll be taking you through the day's NFL slate, giving you some last minute tips and tricks and all the tips. Do we ever give tips and tricks? We've never once given tips and tricks.
I don't know. I'll give someone just the tip.
Oh, there you go. Hopefully not on a live stream, but no, we're going to give you lots of tricks today, all the cheat codes you've wanted to know about how to win a DFS. I'm Chris Baggs, joined by my good pal I don't spend enough time with these days, the Chubster, Josh Engelman. How you doing, Josh?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited for this week, oddly enough. I think I just want to sit down and watch some football today. It's finally cold in Wilmington, or at least like cold-ish. It's 70 now. It was colder this morning. I just kind of want to watch some football today. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there.
Yeah, no, I agree. November, once the clock turns November, it does feel more football, even though this has traditionally been when NBA starts. Now we're in the prime of things. The teams actually have to be good or they have to be very bad. So it's a little easier to define who people are. Unfortunately, that does make a lot of people smarter. So it would be a good time to use promo code live before lock on awesemo.com to get all of the premium rankings there, the ownership projections, which are crucial for a slate like today, where there's a lot of chalky guys you may want to avoid. So go use that now. Promo code live before lock. I'm going to actually drop that link in the chat because I can do that, and I always forget to do that.
So do I.
Yeah, go use that. It's hard to do. It's hard to host and drop a link, but apparently we got to do all these things because that's what the people demand. So yeah, go check that now. Promo code live before lock. Where are you shaking out the most today? Is there anybody noteworthy you're fading? Because I think there's a couple noteworthy guys I am way under the field on.
Yeah, and oh my god, it just feels so hot takey. So we have Cam projected to be 25% owned on FanDuel. Mm-hmm. I'd like Cam a lot. I think he's pretty clearly the best quarterback option of the day, but I can't go with a quarter of the field in a tournament. So I've capped him at half that number, so I'll get like 12 or 13%.
Yeah, Cam was my fade of the week yesterday just because I think that, not that he's a bad play at all. It's just that there are a lot of ways this game could go where he doesn't quite get where you want him to go. And there's so many quarterbacks underneath him who have a crazy high upside in their matchups where I don't think you need to go Cam today. I think he's going to have a great day, but I think you could find a better day, and that's sort of the point of DFS.
Yeah. That's probably it from like a quarterback side. I mean, I have a little bit less Goff than the public. I'll have like half of the Gurley exposure on FanDuel. I mean, he's 11-2 on FanDuel, and the next closest running back is Melvin Gordon at 8,600. So again, I'll have some, but I can't go to 22%.
It's more appropriate than DraftKings. Like I was listening to the Al Zeidenfeld and whatever those Peter Jennings, that one that they do for DraftKings.
Not familiar with those names. I only know people at Awesemo.
Yeah, well, they're popular touts, and I think it's fair to acknowledge other people elsewhere, and they do a good job on their podcast. And it's been one of the ones. Adam Levitan also had Awesemo on, so he's okay. He's in our good graces.
Yep, I like him.
But they were talking about like how on DraftKings, Kamara is so underpriced, and Gurley is pretty underpriced for what his role is and what he's done week in and week out. That you could just jam those guys in and really have not any issue with it. And it's weird how they're so low priced. Like Kamara in particular is very low priced. That said, I'm going with a lot of Ingram today because I think Kamara, like he's at a great price. I think he works, but Ingram's 5,000 and he could easily just pick up those 2 red zone touchdowns and at least nerf Kamara a little bit.
What is Kamara's price on DK?
7,300 and Ingram is 5,000.
Okay. So on FanDuel, Kamara is 8,000. Ingram is 7,400.
That's much. Yeah. Then why play Kamara at that point?
Oh no, I'm playing a bunch of Kamara.
Well, maybe excuse me. Why play Ingram? Sorry, why play Ingram?
Yeah, okay, I was like,
yeah, no, sorry, yeah, backwards.
Yeah. So I'm playing a bunch of Kamara here. I would have more Ingram than if I were playing on DK.
Yeah, I think Ingram to me is on DK a very interesting pivot because you are playing again. Like I've tried to explain before in a way that it's helped me understand football better or DFS football better. Is like it's like a choose your own adventure book, and you're trying to choose different pathways. And this is actually how I landed on Sammy Watkins last week, which we'll talk about, I'm sure. Yeah, got him good when Josh put me on the spot. Thank God. But yeah, I think that's sort of where you're going is you're playing the variance game and you're playing that Ingram's role comes back up. And Kamara's role is always going to be Kamara's role. And I asked Alex if you would play Kamara and Ingram, and he said it's probably not a great play. It's okay in GPPs, even though it worked last year. It's not like the right approach. But I think in this matchup where they're going to probably want to keep the Rams off the field as much as possible, I think it makes sense, to be honest.
I can't imagine a lot of people are going to be playing Kamara and Ingram against the Rams.
Yeah.
So like in a way, I think that you can get some leverage there.
Yeah, I get the logic behind it. They're taking touches away from each other, but they're both locked in for 15 to 20 touches, depending upon the week. Uh, and I just think you want to keep that team off the field, and Sean Payton's enough to recognize that. Like, sure, they can go blow for blow, and I like Traquan Smith. I think, like Michael Thomas is a fine play too. But, I just feel like if they keep it on the ground, at least they have a shot at mitigating damage a little and maybe containing Gurley, because they do have a decent run defense on the Saints. It's interesting, though. It's interesting.
I ate a bunch of buffalo chicken dip during the previous show. These burps are not great.
That is prime hosting food. Some buffalo chicken dip. Slow yourself down a little.
I bought it last night because I knew that I was gonna put myself in a situation where buffalo chicken dip would taste delicious, and then I remembered that it was still at the house, so I was hungry.
Yeah, I'm a little, I wouldn't say disoriented. Like, I'm a little more rested than I thought because of that extra hour of sleep, but it's also still early for me, so I'm like not really that rested. But no buffalo chicken dip in my system. So that's
awesome. Your first mistake.
that does make better picks.
Sure.
Let's talk about Sammy Watkins real fast because he was my guy last week.
Okay.
And I will tell you now, I am not on him at all this week. I have maybe a little sprinkling of him here and there. I think he's at a great price. I get why, but I think everybody's going to chase him there. So I think it's Tyreek Hill week. I'm all on Tyreek Hill.
I have 28% Tyreek Hill, which is more than double the field. I have 5% Watkins, which is half of the field. I wasn't getting any Watkins, and I wasn't really comfortable with that because I am playing Mahomes. Like, I have a lot of Kansas City, so I wasn't in any. I didn't want to just fully fade Watkins. That seemed silly. So I just jammed up his projection and locked him in at 5%. So I have a little sprinkling of him, but it makes me feel sad that you're not on him this week. Maybe I'm a week late.
Yeah, no, I think you were. I mean, like last week, I think I mentioned earlier, like that was the best week I had. So I'm a little worried about following it up. But it was honestly entirely because of Watkins. He was 4% owned in most of the tournaments I was in, and like he was just doing everything on the field. But Hill, I think people are really overrating Denzel Ward and the matchups that he provides. And the reason he's been good against a lot of guys is he's quick, but he's not like he's quicker than Antonio Brown. He's quicker than some of the other elite number one receiver guys. Like he's quicker than a DeAndre Hopkins, and they can still find space obviously because they're great. But like the thing with me is that Hill is much faster, and I think this is a matchup which is actually going to play into his benefit because Ward is going to think he can keep up with him, and he can't. And I think that's sort of where the advantage point is for Hill. So yeah, I have a lot of Hill today. He's a little uncomfortably priced on DK, is $8,000. But I went there, and I have a lot of Mahomes and Hill stacks, and running it back with Njoku. I'm all over Njoku this week.
Samesies.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I wish I didn't say that.
I'm okay with samesies. I think Njoku deserves the samesies.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, like I mean, that's another philosophy which I think has been important in DFS too, which I've tried to go to is, guys rolled and changed. He was still on the field the same amount. He had a tough matchup. Now he has a really great matchup and a new coordinator who did call the last preseason game, which saw a lot of tight end action, actually a lot for Devin Kajust, if anybody remembers him from Hard Knocks. He was getting a lot of targets and I think converted him into a couple catches. But I think to me, that's where I'm hoping is that they get Njoku going. And, he's a big athletic guy, and Kansas City has been really bad versus big athletic tight ends who can get out and run.
I mean, they've been pretty bad against just anybody's offense.
Yes, they are, especially on the road. They are not good on the road defensively. And, a new coordinator, we've talked about it. Again, I don't know if Freddie Kitchens' smile. I didn't Google it. I really should have to do my full research, and that's my bad. I let people down by not grading Freddie Kitchens' smile. But, new coordinator and who's a Bruce Arians disciple. I like that spot.
I gotta get the smile points in wherever you can get them.
No, the smile matrix is a very serious thing, and if you want happy, successful football coaches and players, that's just football. Any Baker for you?
More than I'm comfortable with. Let's just put it that way.
Same for me. Samesies.
There we go. Bringing back the samesies. Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but he's projected to be 3% owned on FanDuel, so I'm fairly comfortable having a little bit more. Well, maybe not comfortable, but I'm doing it.
No, I agree. Look, I think, even Hugh Jackson said it in that interview he did after he got fired, is that this was a firing for Baker. They didn't like what Baker was doing. They didn't like how he was being used. And the hope is that Freddie Kitchens is going to do it better than the two egos butting heads with the two really undeserved egos of Todd Haley and Hugh Jackson butting heads. I don't know. I think Baker's in a good spot, and the Kansas City team just gives up the most yards in the league, and Baker's going to do it. This is a week for Baker to do it.
Where's Hugh Jackson's next job? Like D2 something or other?
He should be on TV. Like, he's kind of candid, but also like phony enough where I feel like he'd be a perfect talking head for any of these shows. And they have 10 guys on all these shows anyway. Just throw him in.
Bring him into Osmo.com for some NFL analysis.
You know,
four fellas talking football.
Yeah, I'm sure Laffy would love to get pick the brain of a genius like you across America. He could be on the contrary. We have a third spot, which might be
pass on that one.
No, I think Hugh, you know what Hugh should be is on like national games being like the equivalent of the referees. He should just say like, oh, the offense should call this play here. It should just be a terrible call every time. I would tune in for that. It'd be fun.
All righty. What else you got going on for today?
Okay, Courtland Sutton. We should talk Courtland Sutton. He is projected to be I think the highest owned wide receiver on the slate, at least on DraftKings. How is he on FanDuel?
He's 18% right now. I nerfed that a little bit, came in under the field because it felt really weird to go chalk on that.
That is, yeah. So I would prefer DJ Moore to Courtland Sutton. And I do prefer DJ Moore to Courtland Sutton in terms of how I played it this week. I think Sutton's a viable play. I could see this breaking the other way where Houston's defense actually has a decent day and Courtland Sutton isn't quite ready for that role. And even as a guy who just takes up space and kind of can, demand attention.
Yeah, I'm not much of a fan of Denver in general, specifically offensively. So I don't get the appeal. I mean, he's at 5,500 on FanDuel. It's a really nice price. I feel like I'm willing to die on that hill. If he wants to go out and go for 120 and a touchdown or something, kudos. I think that would be more of a weird game than the expectation.
Yeah, Moore is like the fifth option in Carolina. Moore is not the fifth option. Torrey Smith is out, and he's coming off a big week, which actually makes me like DJ Moore a little less. But Moore is actually, they've been gone out of their way to get him involved, Ronnie Lewis. So actually check the box score sometimes. But
DJ Moore, the projected to be the most owned wide receiver in Carolina. And we can include Greg Olsen in that. So it's a weird stance to take.
Yeah, no, I'm alone on that island, Ronnie Lewis, and then he's just a joke. No, I think, look, there's a perfect viable reason to fade Moore too.
Yeah.
These aren't the number one receiver. Like they're peripheral pieces in games that could get out of hand.
I have 23% DJ Moore, so samesies, buddy.
We're on the same page a little more than usual, I think, this week.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad. Zach Jameson, there's no NBA strategy show today. Nobody cares about basketball on Sundays.
0 red zone targets. Red zone targets don't define a player. I think you're looking at the wrong things, Ronnie. I'm going to not be mean today because it's Sunday. It's the day of our Lord and Savior. That's obviously very important to me.
Our?
Yeah, everybody's. All of ours. He's saving you even if you don't know it, Josh.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know. We don't need to go down that
My
road.
Lord and Savior is Anthony Hopkins in Westworld.
And Buffalo Chicken Dip.
Yeah, whoever made the computer that's running my life.
Yeah, the Elon Musk simulation is the thing. That is one of my beliefs, by the way. That is that explains religion to me. Is if we're all in a simulation, there's just one where everybody worships an invisible creature that we don't know about.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a different show.
It's a very different show. That'll be Osmo After Dark. We'll do that. But yeah, no, I think the thing with DJ Moore is you're looking for him. They try to get him the ball. They try to get him handoffs. They try to get him available downfield. And this is a Bucs team who's going to allow that in spades.
Yeah.
I do worry a little bit about that game though. That game, like the Bucs could just have a bad Fitzpatrick day, and that could just be like DOA.
Does that make you like Christian McCaffrey then?
I do like McCaffrey a little, but I didn't play that angle a ton. I'm definitely playing more OJ Howard, more Deshaun Jackson. I have a little bit of Fitz because I think he's going to throw a pick or two. I think that's
a safe bet.
Yeah. I think the over under on picks would probably be at least 1.5.
Is that what you're going out on the limb for? That Fitzpatrick throws an interception?
Yeah. Hot take for the day. Ryan Fitzpatrick may throw an interception today.
I like it, dude. I like it. Probably going to take Adam Thielen for yards too, right?
We need to just take Adam Thielen every week. Though maybe not this week. Maybe they'll do some creative coverages. Probably not.
What's Godwin, right? Yeah, damn.
Yep. Yeah, Godwin, another guy who gets a little boost with Fitzpatrick back in the lineup. The guys who get the biggest boost with Fitzpatrick back in are Godwin and Deshaun Jackson, who just gets targeted deep because shockingly, Fitzpatrick is even more reckless than Jameis in some respects. So he just throws it up for Deshaun and lets him run underneath it.
Not as much in life as he is in football.
No, definitely no. Jameis is all risk in real life. People ask about it. There's no NBA show today, guys. We're sorry. There's no NBA show.
Yeah, no.
Sundays,
we take Sundays off. When the NFL season is over, NBA shows will happen on Sunday. But tournaments are smaller, interest is smaller. Sometimes people just need a day off.
Yeah. So yeah, Eddie's got to take a day off to reset that big old brain of his. So he's got to chill out, and we're doing football. This is football season. DFS Dantar.
Yeah, I'll be in Slack for our premium members, but yeah, no.
Yeah, we have rankings and stuff too, so you just use those, and you'll have to deal without us giving you some spiel on each player. Lions will double team Thielen. He ain't getting 100 yards. So this is a popular thing that I've seen people like. One guy tweeted us like, "Oh, they might like double team DeAndre Hopkins and Thielen." It's like, are they really going to do that? I mean, you still have Treadwell. You still have, again, Treadwell's not a name that strikes fear in anybody. You still have Aldrick Robinson out there. You still have Rudolph. You can't really, it's hard to double team a slot guy quite as well. Cause what you're going to put a linebacker on him who he could still beat. I don't see the point in double teaming Thielen.
I mean, I didn't know if I was still on mute or not, cause I coughed. You can double team Thielen if you want it. I don't know. Like, then somebody's going to be wide open. I don't know if you want Treadwell and Robinson just running free down the seam.
I think like if you do double team him, this is the NFL, and I think it's not really a situation where there's a real dead fish on the other side. All right, stop spamming your stupid show, Pedro
like
Pichardo.
If Thielen were like a physical problem, I think it's a different story. But
right.
He's not. I guess he is. The dude just keeps being incredible. So maybe I don't know how to detail his workload. But I have some Treadwell and some Robinson now. That's exciting.
I'm just not super worried about it overall. I mean,
neither am I. I have a ton of Thielen.
Yeah, if you want to play that angle and play Treadwell or play Rudolph or play, like that, that's certainly an angle to take. I just don't think I think that's a thought that people make when you're assuming like, oh, that DFS football is like the NBA, and that is not the case. Football is not basketball. You don't lose a guy, and all of a sudden it just gets like much tougher for the other guy.
Yeah. What's the line in that game? Do you know off the top of your head, or do you have anything up like that?
I have not seen the updates since Diggs was ruled out, but I have it somewhere here.
I got it here. Minnesota favored by 4.5.
Okay. Yes. Vegas not particularly worried then either, I would presume.
Opened at 7.
Vegas a little worried. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't worried.
Yeah, no, they're not worried. That's correct. Let's see what other.
Actually, it opened at 5.5 at Pinnacle. A 7 must have been some garbage book.
Yeah, Thielen projected for 23% ownership on DK. If you find that to be a viable reason to fade him, that's fine. I just don't think it's going to occur that way, where he'll get double teamed and be ineffective in some way. I don't foresee that happening. No. Let's see. Anybody else who's super highly owned that we should talk about? Because the Chubster picking up some ownership. The other Chubster got 20%. Any Nick Chubb for you?
I do. He's at 14% on FanDuel. He's at 6,600. I know he's priced like crazy low on DK. So I get that. I have more than the field. He's pretty clearly the best value in that price range on FanDuel for me. So I'm having a hard time avoiding him. And then like we have Chris Carson with more ownership, $100 cheaper than Chubb. So I just don't have any exposure going to I'm basically taking Carson's exposure and giving it to Nick Chubb.
I think that seems fair to me. I don't have a ton of Chubb this week, just because I think it's a more beneficial game for Baker. I probably should have had a little more Chubb just to kind of protect myself from Baker, maybe not getting it going. But
do you want me to whisper sweet nothings in your ear? That'll give you a little bit more Chubb.
Literally and figuratively, that would give me a little more Chubb. So that'd be great. Let's see. People doing some either ors in the chat. Any good questions? Oh, nope. Here's an interesting thought. Garrett Palka saying Treadwell's matched up with Tabor, who is the worst cornerback in the league according to PFT. So there you go. So if you want to play, you want to play this game of Adam Thielen getting double teamed, play Laquon Treadwell. Be the guy who plays Laquon Treadwell today.
I have a couple percentage points.
Makes sense. Yeah. It's worth a shot.
I've got a lot of Cousins. I've got a lot of this game just in general.
Yeah, I think he certainly seems worth a shot to me. He's not. I don't think I have him in anything today, but I also didn't really pivot off of the Diggs news in a real meaningful way. So I think it makes sense.
I have a decent amount of Lions, and every single time that happens, LeGarrette Blount scores at least a touchdown. So if you just want to use that information, fire up LeGarrette Blount. He's almost a guarantee to score twice today.
So I don't think, and Alex really liked the Lions passing attack, and he liked Galladay, I think in particular. I don't want to misquote him, but I'm pretty sure that was what he said yesterday. He was like mostly on Galladay. I think they might have a bad day today. I don't like them losing Tate, and I don't like them in the first week having to adjust without Tate. And I think Galladay isn't fully ready for that number one role, and I don't think it's a perfect matchup for him or Jones. I'm kind of off the Lions this week.
I get it. Like Stafford's 3% owned on FanDuel. Galladay and Marvin Jones are both 10% owned. Nothing so crazy there that I would want to be away from it. So
right.
They're popping up for me, and they're relatively low owned, so I'm comfortable going there. If their prices were different, or if that ownership was different, I might take a different stance. But for right now, I feel like it would be really hard for me to get all of these guys popping up when I run a crunch and not see crazy ownership and think like I should probably still fade this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think to me the thing that people are not accounting for, and in particular how NFL offenses work, is that Tate has been such a reliable safety blanket guy. He's getting the most targets. He's working out of the slot. He's been the guy that I think Stafford turns to the most in his times of need, which sounds more dramatic, but like literally that's what he is on the field. So you lose that guy, and I think the assumption is like Galladay will eventually be that guy, or Jones can maybe be more of that guy. But I don't see it happening this week, and I think that takes time, and I think people are playing it a little too straight.
Does that make you like Lat Murray or Dalvin Cook at all by any chance?
Dalvin's pitch count thing is not. I mean, I know that's been a thing which kind of sucked in the past with what's his face from the Eagles, where he came in and then had like 40 points and 10 carries or whatever. But yeah, I don't have a ton of Cook, and I don't have any Murray. I don't think. Actually, I don't have any Cook, and I think I don't have a ton of Murray. That's backwards.
Okay.
California Cool in the premium Slack. And the premium Slack here does get first priority, by the way, with questions. So if you are premium, go join the Slack now, and we'll check those first. California Cool asking the familiarity of Kirk Cousins with Aldrick Robinson, which we've seen. I think he's had 2 points per route run, or 2 fantasy points per route run, or something like ridiculous like that. How much stock would you take in that? Would that give you a boost for Aldrick, knowing that he kind of vibes with Cousins and it seems like he's a more reliable target than Treadwell?
Not really.
I think it makes sense from a football perspective, but from a DFS perspective, I think Treadwell still makes sense.
Yeah, like I'll use it as a tiebreaker. I'll use it as an extra point if I'm getting something, but I'm not just going to think like, I should add 5 points to Aldrick Robinson's projection because he seems to be friends with Kirk Cousins.
I don't know why that one got me. Thankfully, I swallowed the water I had in my mouth. Otherwise, I would have been a spit take on mediocre.
I'm playing him, but that's like if I got 0 of him and I was just like, I should probably have 1 or 2. Like then I'd do it. If I got like 30% of them, I'd be like, well, shit. Like, and they're buddies. But I don't know. That's not the type of stuff I'm normally looking at.
I do like what I've seen out of him. And again, I think if you are playing the other angle of the Thielen thing, I think that totally makes sense. And before we do, we are going to do our 100-yard pick shortly, which has been fruitful some weeks and not fruitful other weeks. But there's a thought there which comes with love, I'm sure. So throw us a like. The picks will be better if you throw us a like. That's just how it goes. Click that little thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. These are all things which fuel us like some sort of transformer robots. You got to give us oil and love. Transformers need love. They need oil.
I've never seen those movies.
I mean, the cartoon too. You never watched the cartoon as a kid?
I mean, I watched the cartoon as a kid. I'm familiar with the Transformers, if that's what you're asking.
Do you know who they are? They're robots. They're robots in disguise.
They are robots in disguise. I was a big fan. I definitely had one of the toys. I assume it was Optimus Prime, but knowing my parents, it could have been like the shittiest one.
Bumblebee or one of the racist ones in that movie?
I don't know any other names other than Optimus Prime. And chat better not bring up any GoBots bullshit.
Yeah, GoBots can go. They can go bot to hell. That's where they can go. Before we do the 100-yard pick, one last question. Andrew mocked as saying Alex didn't love AP yesterday. Yeah, he was not on Adrian Peterson. Andrew can't see how he isn't a great play. Josh, what do you think? I guess is a tiebreaker there.
I am basically with the field on him. every week for the past, every week that like Peterson's been playing and I have shares of Alex Smith, I almost always have Chris Thompson. And then the first alert that I get on my phone is usually Alex Smith 8-yard touchdown pass to Adrian Peterson. And I want to stab myself because I'm usually wearing a Redskins jersey. I'm wearing Redskins shorts. Got a goddamn hat sitting next to me. And I just can't get it right. So, yeah, I'll have some Peterson today. Thank God Chris Thompson's out.
Yeah, no, I think it makes a ton of sense to play Peterson. I definitely have some. I was a little reticent to go above the field too much with him just because it does feel risky. But I said my official take, which I gave yesterday to Alex, was that I think he has one more really good week. This is the week. And then next week is week where he becomes chalk. And then you jump off of him. But I think he's got one more week in him, I think, of getting like that 20 touch roll. And the only risk is maybe Atlanta puts up some points through the air fast. But, I think he's a perfectly fine play. And I think people are really a little biased with him where they like, oh, he's old. The same thing with, who was it this week? Oh, with Chris Paul in NBA, where people are like, oh, he's old. He's just done. He's like, no, that's not. It's opportunity. We care about opportunity. That's it.
I'm just assuming that Adrian Peterson is on steroids.
There's also a very decent chance he's been spending some time in Germany getting his blood spun.
Yeah. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I would assume that if he's feeling any better, it's due to performance enhancing drugs. He's been a pro for a while. Like when a big time millionaire gets old, he's got the facilities to be able to like pay for the new.
I think that's fair. All right, let's do our 100-yard picks. Last week we were 0 for 2. You had Golden Tate. I had Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun was on the way. Golden Tate got traded. So that's it's a tough week for the 100-yard picks.
He was close though, wasn't he? I think he had like 88 yards or something stupid.
Yeah, they both were like close enough, and they both had decent days. So I think that's fine. We'll take it.
Golden Tate so shamed, traded. Wow, Man City won 6-1 today. That's the real football we should be talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure as many people would be watching if we just talked about Liverpool.
I would be watching. I had a rough one yesterday. What the fuck was Sunday last week? I don't know days of the week. 28th. I just want to see how many yards Golden Tate had.
Days of the week have lost all meaning when you have to do things every day.
They certainly have. I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh, I thought we were gonna hear it. No, you muted like a professional.
Yeah, dude, this is not my first rodeo, man.
You could have had like a funny little mouse sneeze, and it would have been. I would have into that.
Tate had 50 yards last week, so apparently I just suck.
Okay. Deshaun was closer. He was better. But then Jameis Winston did his dumb shit, and Fitzpatrick didn't look for him. So whatever. I was okay with Deshaun. This week, I'll let you go first because you are in the lead. You are up 4-2 thus far this year.
Okay. Got to follow my ownership. You know what? This one's not going to be a popular one. He's got really low ownership on FanDuel, only at 7%. And I didn't even realize that my button was clicked on that 7%. So I think that might be a sign. I want DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay. That's an interesting pick. He will definitely be lower owned this week. And he's always a little lower owned than he probably should be.
Agreed.
Let's see. Who should I pick? Because I was going to go with an asshole like DJ Moore, but I don't think that's a good one if you're going with Hopkins. I don't. You know what? This guy's burned me before. Don't do it. Don't do it again. Brandon Cooks. You're back up. Brandon Cooks. Get in the lineup.
If it makes you feel any better, I'll almost be rooting for you. The wife has Brandon Cooks on her fantasy team. So if I cheer against you, I'm going to get a couple dirty looks.
That's fair. And I think Brandon Cooks is just, it's the revenge game thing is nice, but he's just the lowest owned receiver on that group. And I think, people, a lot of Cup talk. I love Cooper Kupp. I have Cooper Kupp in my season long league. I think he's great. I enjoy watching him. I don't think you should be heavily favoring any of these guys. I get there's the best matchup according to PFF is with Cooper Kupp, but Cooks is just as good of a matchup. Woods, I think, is comparably good, though I have the least of him. I think people are a little too Kupp fixated, and I would make sure to have exposure to all three receivers because any of them or 2 out of 3 of them can have monster. 3 out of 3 of them can have monster days, to be honest.
I have all 3 of them. Cooks is the guy that I have the least of, but I have all 3 of them.
Sean Lopez asking your favorite question. What defense besides Bears are you thinking? What defenses are actually in consideration for you? I was shocked by the one that's our highest owned on DK, according to our projections, the Broncos, which I thought was cute. Apparently not so cute. A lot of people on the Broncos, they are the chalk defense of the week.
Yeah, Broncos at 20% on FanDuel. I just immediately set that to 10 and walked away. I got a lot of Ravens, a lot of Redskins, got a lot of Bills, which is making me uncomfortable. Bears, they're super expensive. No Mac, which doesn't make me happy either. I don't know. I'm spread out.
The Peterman ghost is real.
I guess.
I wish they had Mac in. I agree. Like, I'm still playing the Bears at some volume because I think you can afford them this week without it being too stressful. And Peterman's so bad. I swear to God, if Peterman is like the millionaire maker winning quarterback somehow this week, I think I'm not going to quit DFS, but I'm going to have a real, like, one of those moments where I'm like running hot water on my face and looking in the mirror, like, why am I doing this?
Peterman made the thumbnail for the game plan today, but it was him taking like a huge shot.
He's so bad. And like the thing says everything that we know about all of these sports is that regression is due because he's a professional player. He's in the NFL, but like, can a guy just be that bad forever? Is that possible?
I don't know. He must be like a really nice guy.
He sounds like he has a nice.
He must have
name.
The smile points.
Here's my boyfriend Nathan Peterman, and he's like, oh, it's great to meet you, and he has like a nice conversation with you and asks you questions about your life, and you're like, oh, that Nathan's a pretty good guy. I'm glad Becky's dating him, and then that's why he keeps getting the starting job, because otherwise, sign Colin Kaepernick, like fucking do something.
Yeah, that'll happen
in Buffalo, Western New York, ready for a hotbed of protests.
Is Ralph Wilson still alive? I don't think he is. Who owns the Bills?
Lockstep DFS being a cunt in chat. These guys love more, so fade accordingly. Look, I'm always alarmed when people love more too, or like love somebody who is cheap and could blow up too. And there's a lot of people in chat saying DJ Moore. DJ Moore is playing the worst slot corner in the league. Our guy Dapiana saying Jason Johnson. I like DJ Moore. Robert Thompson. Any love for DJ Moore? And then Lockstep DFS, of course, again as I mentioned, being a douche for no reason. Yeah, that worries me a little bit about Moore, and that our ownership might not be high enough on Moore. Like our projection, rather, because we have him at, I think, 15 or something.
I'm too busy noticing someone named Wedo Boys, #Wedo Boys, #Garage Junkie Productions as a YouTube name.
The Wedo Boys need love too,
I guess. Anytime somebody spells things with a Z instead of an S, my wife and I love it, so shout out Wedo Boys, I guess. There's your plug.
No one has talked about Crowell. Hunter M is saying there have been a few people talking about Isaiah Crowell in this chat. I guess any interest at all for you in this Jets game and how, any of the pieces there?
I have double the field on Crowell. What up, chat?
I have a few Crowells. I don't. It makes sense to me a little. I'm just not there. I'm there more than Elijah McGuire, though. I think people are like touting him a lot, and I think that's another Trenton Cannon situation where it's not going to be. It's not one to trust, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I went and thought like I need to make sure that I have some Isaiah Crowell in my lineups. He's just popping. I see that he's at 6%. I'm getting 14. I look around the salaries around that area, and I think to myself, yeah, that'll work. It's. I don't know what that field is going to be. I'm not factoring into anything I'm doing, but we'll see.
Jay Kelly 13 asking on the premium Slack, and again, use that promo code live before lock to get on the premium Slack. There's a lot of smart people there talking football right now, asking questions like a conspiracy theorist, but also just asking smart questions and talking about their picks. But Jay Kelly asking for FanDuel, Juju at 7,200. Is he way too cheap, even despite this rough matchup for you, Josh? I need Juju.
I'm just with the field there. We have him projected pretty low. I think I have 3% when I just looked. So not a problem with it, but he's not a guy that I'm focused on or making like a stand on.
Let's see. Sports Betting Man, one of the regulars in our various shows, asking, would you go Dalvin, Devontae Parker, or Callaway? That's a tough question that I don't like any of those answers.
I guess Parker, not Dalvin. Is Callaway, what do we know about his health?
I believe he is active. I believe, actually, I don't.
He's got like a bum wheel or some shit, right?
Yeah.
His ankle or something.
I mean,
it could be nothing. I'm just.
Higgins is active, and I think Callaway is too. But yeah, I think they were both banged up. I know Higgins had an MCL thing, which he was limited in practice with, but I don't know about Callaway. I've been off Callaway.
I mean, I think it has to be Parker in my head because I know that I don't have any of the other two guys.
Yeah, I think Parker feels a little point chasey coming off of that Texans matchup, but he's not owned a lot, so I'd probably go Parker. But I also kind of worry that Parker game last time out was like a pre-trade deadline one where he was like, "Hey, look at me, somebody trade for me," and nobody did, and now he's just gonna mope and not get passes.
It's Parker for me because I have Parker. I don't have those other guys. Well, let me say, shouldn't say I don't. I don't think that I do. I don't have Dalvin Cook. Who's the other one? Callaway. I'm almost positive I don't.
Callaway, I think, could have some upside in this matchup versus Kansas City, but I'm not playing any of those guys. I think I might have won Parker, so I can't give you my actual cosign.
I'm gonna make sure I get a lineup with Antonio Callaway just because of how much Baker I have, but yeah, that's all.
Andrew mocked, is Mac confirmed out for the Bears? Yes, he is. He is out, and Allen Robinson is out. That was out early today.
Yeah.
What's your Fitz exposure, Josh? Michael L asks.
Too much.
Interesting.
Way too much.
Even though he might throw an interception or two, that doesn't scare you off?
No, I don't give a shit. I know where you're going with that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that he seems like he's in a good spot. It does worry me though a little that, like, knowing the Bucs and knowing how the season has gone and seeing how last week went, watch Fitzpatrick either get hurt or get benched for Jameis, and then Jameis come in and have a day. And if that happens, it'll be another one of those staring in the mirror, self-loathing.
For real.
Not playing enough Fitz to get hurt by it like I was Jameis last week, but that was so upset. And that was very tilting for me. That would have changed. I would have won tournaments if Jameis had an okay day.
I have a lot of Fitz.
I think it makes sense.
Look, he's gonna heave. No matter what happens here, he's gonna heave. And like, he's cheap enough on this is why he's the 16th most expensive quarterback on FanDuel, and he clearly has the ability to win this slate as a quarterback. So I like being there. It gives me an extra $1,000 to fit in other high ceiling guys at running back and wide receiver. So it's hard for me to not want to be there. It's kind of like the inverse for me with Cam. Cam is the second most expensive quarterback on FanDuel and the chalkiest. So I'll naturally spend down there to try to get a little, or I'll naturally limit my exposure there to try to get a little different. Fitzpatrick's the opposite. That just allows me to have like different combinations of guys. I mean, he could blow. It wouldn't shock me. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's a reason he's priced where he is, but I'm going to take a run at it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree. That makes sense. And I would assume there's a little bit of pressure off of him too. I think when Jameis came back and he had that crap game, I think, that was a tough spot for him. He was also going against the Bears. Like, of course you're going to get rocked in that situation with Mac healthy at that point too. I'm not as afraid of this Panthers pass defense, even though they're coming off of a decent week. I think it's a fine time to play Fitz. I probably didn't play enough Fitz, to be totally honest, given his price on DK. It's $5,500 on DK. It's cheaper than Baker. And I played fucking Baker.
What is Fitzpatrick's like rank in terms of salary for quarterback? Do you have that in front of you?
No, I mean, he's definitely down there a little bit. I don't really have like price ranks like that.
I just didn't know if you could like quickly count quarterbacks that are above.
Oh, I mean, like I could.
You just don't have that list, dude. Don't worry about it. I just didn't know if you had that list in front of you like that. Like
no. Let's do it. Josh, let's do it for
motherfucker. I could probably get there just as fast.
So, oh no, you know what? Because we don't even have a way to like unearth.
I got it, man. Jesus, I'll do all the work in this damn show.
You asked for the data. We don't have an easy way to sort by quarterback.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's 14th. He's also an AA ranked guy on Awesemo's rankings. Shout out Awesemo.
That's too low. Yeah, I agree. No, like I think it all makes sense, and I should have had more of him. That would be the guy I would say this week that we've talked about. I do not have enough of, and I think I'm all right with that. Antoine Murphy, Dan Arnold punt tight end of the week, 60 yards and a TD. Isn't Dan Arnold? So like, I'll be honest, I know most players in the league. Yeah, that's the name of Roseanne's husband on Roseanne, right?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what Roseanne is. So that's not a television show anymore.
What is it now? The Connors?
It is the Connors.
Okay. I tell you what, I haven't watched a single episode.
Nor have I.
Oh, he's a Saints tight end. Okay.
Of course he is.
I think I would say that's getting too cute, Antoine Murphy.
Yeah, I mean, go for it. You probably only need him in 1 or 2 lineups.
Yeah, put him in the Millionaire Maker. Have a week with Dan Arnold, the guy out of the John Goodman at your tight end. There we go. Got that spam. Take that, Muhammad. What a terrible spam name, Muhammad Sidki Nur Zamzam.
Might be his real name, man.
It could be, but then be better at spam. Come up with a fake name. Let's see. Anything good? Fitz is going to smash. Fitz trying to keep his job. Oh, here's an interesting thought. Durf Dog McGooney, which that's a fun name.
Jesus Christ. What are we doing here, people?
Well, Mr. Durf Dog McGooney says.
I hope that's his real name.
Yeah, he's part of the proud McGooney family. His father, Turf Dog, Trubisky in the winning lineup. Trubisky interests me a little. I didn't play a ton of him. I think I've one Trubisky Gabriel stack, which actually feels better now that Robinson's out. I could see that. I could definitely see that happening.
I don't have any Mitch.
I don't either, but like that is a spot where nobody's playing him. It's not a great defense. I think people are actually playing the Bills defense, which I have a few of them too, and I get the logic.
I got a group of friends that are at that game today. So just in case anything's going weird, they're going to be heavily intoxicated. So I could probably talk one of them into running out in the field to try to help me out.
Yeah, if Mitch Trubisky's scrambling around and, oh, there we go. Durf is Fred for Durf Dog. You can't assume we should know that. Like, derp is a thing people say online. You could have just been wrong and whatever. No, don't blame us for your weird name.
Oh, that should have obviously been Fred, Mr. Dog McGooney. The whole name is a farce.
Your Crash Bandicoot looking avatar. I miss you, Crash Bandicoot. Come back, Crash.
I think I think Crash Bandicoot just had a new game come out recently.
Yeah, and actually,
it might be like the last. By recently, I mean like in the last 18 months.
Oh, here's an interesting. Dapiana 23 saying the fullback for the Bears is active, so they'll run it a ton. Jordan Howard going to smash it. So Jordan Howard had his breakout game last week where he had like 22 touches and almost 100 yards and a touchdown, and he still wasn't worth it. I do have like 1 or 2 Jordan Howard's lineups this week with the Bears defense. I don't know that he's going to smash it. He just doesn't catch passes, so he's got to get you like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I have a little bit of him just in case Buffalo's like atrocious and Jordan Howard gets 30 carries or something stupid today. But yeah, I'm good there for the most part. There are fullbacks in the NFL still?
For the Chicago Bears when they're playing the Bills, they dust off a fullback. Just for
somebody going to tell me that Will Purdue is playing today in the NBA? Bringing back slow white centers?
California Cool in the premium Slack asking, how much Gordon exposure do you have?
A lot.
Interesting.
Multiple times above the field.
Too. I like that. I think I didn't get there as much because I think with DK, with Kamara being cheaper, it is sort of that's the reason to play him. But I felt more comfortable with Kamara saving $900.
I have Gordon. A ton of Kamara as well. That hasn't changed anything for me.
Yeah, no, I think Gordon's a smart play, and I think people are off him. I said this yesterday and on the contrary too. Like, people are off him because he just wasn't on the slate for 2 weeks and they forgot, like, oh yeah, that guy's really good, and he gets a ton of stupid targets that are like valuable, even though he doesn't I don't know. He just gets a lot of easy points, I think is the best way to look at it. So I don't mind it, and I think that could be a very good contrarian play.
He's at 5% ownership on FanDuel. I'm not entirely sure why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I understand, like, he's the second most expensive running back. He's the most expensive guy that isn't in the Todd Gurley class. That makes sense to me, though. I mean, he's kind of matchup proof. It's not like he's going to lose out on things. I love him. I can't imagine not wanting, like, Seattle's run defense in Pro Football Focus is 11th. It's not like it's first. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he's under 4% owned on DK.
Yeah.
According to our projections too. So you're getting him way lower owned than you probably should, given his talent and what he's shown this season. So
like, if Melvin Gordon is let's say he's 5% owned, and he's in the winning Millie lineup, no one's going to be like, I can't believe Melvin Gordon got you there.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, he's fucking incredible. Why was he only 5% owned?
The one issue is I think is it a hamstring? I'm pretty sure it's a hamstring for him too, which has been not great for some guys this year.
I'm not. Look, if they're on the field, I'm playing them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And California Cool points out he's got the Q tag on FanDuel, so that'll definitely drive down. It might be even lower than we think because of that.
I mean, that's a reason. Like, it matters, but if he's playing, I'm playing him.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that makes sense.
Unless they say specifically that he's going to be limited, like if you get like, oh, he's only going to get like, 40% of the snaps or something, that changes it. But if we don't know something like that, then I'm going for it.
Earl Fountain in the chat asking any David Moore shares, any for you this week, Josh?
No.
So on DK, he is the same price as Sutton. So I do have a couple of him because I do think he can outperform Sutton. And he has outperformed Sutton this year. That's just straight away he has. It does feel a little point chasey though. And I kind of think it's more of a Baldwin getting back on track week, but I thought that last week too. And got burned pretty bad by Baldwin in some lineups. But I think Moore looks good. And I think he is a very viable Sutton pivot on DK. I think that's like looking at those guys. If you went on the same line of construction and then just get ahead of the field, I think Moore could be a guy who outperforms Sutton this week.
Yeah, he's just in a sea of $5,800 guys that I think you could just randomize. Taylor Gabriel, Demaryius Thomas, Sanu, Devontae Parker. I mean, Doug Baldwin.
Same price as Gabriel. Wow.
Yeah, $5,700 Doug Baldwin. He's $100 more expensive than Doug Baldwin.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's ludicrous. I would play Baldwin then. But yeah, like he's 3,900 on DK. Like I have no problem playing him.
If you want to play David Moore, I mean, I assume you're doing something with Seattle. I don't have anything from Seattle outside of a little bit of Doug Baldwin.
Yeah, I think Wilson's in an okay spot. Last week I was all over him, and I thought the net actually was a pretty good spot. He had the best game he could possibly have last week, though, so I think that's something to note. If his price does go up at some point, he just can't get up there as much as he has in previous years in this offense. But I think Moore is a viable play on DK. I probably would not be into him on FanDuel at that price. That's kind of stupid.
Yep.
It's way too much for David Moore. Thoughts on Paul Richardson, who is active today? This Washington offense is completely overlooked. The passing game completely overlooked this week. Even Alex wasn't on Alex Smith, which I thought was funny because he's been on him in every matchup, and he was just like, nope, I'm out. Versus Atlanta of all teams. So I think Paul Richardson's interesting. I actually know for a fact I have a smattering, let's say, of Alex Smith, Josh Doxson stacks, which feel filthy. But Doxson's getting targeted and getting downfield, and this is Atlanta, and they are bad. Any Paul Richardson or any Redskins passing game at all for you?
Just Jordan Reed, which I probably have too much of. 9 minutes. Do I even want to do this? Yeah, I might as well. Yeah, I have too much Jordan Reed. I'm going to fix that right now, but that's it. I don't have any of the rest of the clowns. As I sit here in full Redskins regalia.
Let's do a thing. We'll try it out for this week. Give us a hot take of the week. This worked out last week, and the guy in chat is bringing up my hot take of the week. And just laying it. I'll do mine first, so I'll set the table for you. Dave Legeski asking in chat, is Njoku in play today? My hot take of the week, which is not going to be as good as Sammy Watkins hot take, so please don't take this to the bank because I'm the only tout who's like, please don't use my pick. It's not good.
No, dude, you're fucking up your soundbite for when it goes right here.
Okay, true. So I'll take it again. Take two.
Let me start you off. It worked out last week, man. What's your hot take for this week?
Well, my hot take for the week, David Njoku, 0 points last week. Very chalky play. This week, highest scoring tight end on the slate.
Okay. I could see it. I think that's sort of what I said last time.
There we go. All right, we nailed our soundbite, so that's good for social media.
There you go.
Done and done. No, I love Njoku. I'm playing a shitload of Njoku. My primary rotation at tight end for like the guys I'm optioning in and out was Njoku, Howard, Olsen, and I got a little more Rudolph in when Diggs was out, but Rudolph I think people are a little too into right now. Njoku's my favorite tight end of the week. So yeah, Njoku, top scoring tight end. Let's go.
Okay. Do I have to give a hot take now?
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Did I have one last week?
No, we just rode the Watkins one to the pay window, as Dusty Rhodes would say.
Okay. Man, I'm not much of a hot take guy. And I've already taken DeAndre Hopkins as my 100-yard pick, so it seems weird to double up. I want to give myself multiple chances to get a soundbite. So, Alex, what a soundbite.
Thank you, boss. I'm glad he acknowledges he knows the game we're doing here. We're just trying to make bite-sized content for everybody.
Holy shit! I have way too much Fitzpatrick now. Okay.
There's a hot take for you, Fitzpatrick.
No, I'm gonna go. Marvin Jones is in the Millie Maker winning lineup this weekend.
Wait a minute. So you think the guy who put up 33 points last week and then had an elite receiver who was getting highly targeted.
He's 10% owned on FanDuel.
Wait a minute. You think this guy might have a good week?
Okay.
That's ludicrous. I think it's a good take. That's fair. I think people aren't on him enough. It's like, for as much as people point chase, they're not on a guy coming off a 33-point week, which is kind of crazy.
I'm staying the course on Marvin Jones.
That's fair. All right. I'll allow it.
What a terrible hot take. Now you made me feel like a dick.
I mean, that's the goal of the show, isn't it?
When he gets like 2 fantasy points, we're gonna have the like the Price is Right music where I give that take and it's just like boom, boom, ba-dum.
That should be the clip that we run for you. It's like, oh, Josh was asked for his hottest take, and here it was.
Yeah. I'll come back and give hot takes for the NBA.
There we go. Dapiana 23 quickly putting in Joku in all my lineups. So that's exactly what I said not to do. Don't do that. Don't even play him. Just leave him alone. What was the Watkins hot take? The Watkins hot take last week was I think the only person anywhere who was like play him, and that was just dumb luck. I mean, not dumb luck.
You said he would be the highest scoring Chiefs receiver or something like that?
Yeah.
And he went nuts.
Pass catcher. And he went nuts and was the highest scoring Chiefs pass catcher. But that was just, again, that's just the choose your own adventure book. You just go to the page and it's going to be one of those 3 guys. So boom, done and done. Kenyan Drake, highest scoring running back. Any Kenyan Drake for you? Actually, Alex liked Frank Gore, which I thought was interesting, but Drake has been playing well.
Very little. If any.
And not a lot for me either. I didn't get much Dolphins or Jets.
What do I actually have? I just want to make sure I'm not lying. Yeah, I don't have any.
Philip Lindsay, we didn't talk about. He's got the full role again with Royce Freeman ruled out. Any Philip Lindsay for you? He was good last week. Not a great matchup, I think, this week. But what do you think of him?
I don't think that I have any. I'm pasting my final lineups in, so apologies for the next, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. But I don't believe that I have any.
Okay.
I don't remember having any. I certainly didn't earlier. If he popped up right now, it would be a very different change from before. Oh, I got a puppy dog poking his head in here though now.
Oh, there we go. People have been noticing. I've had my dogs running loose lately when doing shows, and people are always commenting on Callie sitting in the background, usually looking just relaxed or mopey, depending upon how you.
Philip Lindsay was the question, right?
Yeah.
I have 0, and we're projecting 11%. I have Booker more than I have Lindsay.
Yeah, I don't have any Booker, and I think I have like 1 or 2 Lindsay lineups. I was not crazy about Lindsay this week, and if people want to chase him again in that role, that's great. Houston's defense has been pretty good versus the run. They are giving up 3.4 yards per rush, so no thanks for me on Lindsay this week.
3 minutes till lock. We need like a 3 minutes till lock gimmick.
Or like a sound bite, like some sort of really obnoxious alarm that everybody hates. It's 3 minutes to lock, everyone. Wait. Can we get... Oh God, that was an awful voice that I just did. I don't ever want to do that again.
Yeah, save that one for later.
For the bedroom. Who's the chalk QB on FanDuel today? I don't actually know.
It's Cam Newton.
Oh, it's Cam. Yeah, it's Cam Newton on both sides then, right?
Yeah,
I think unless he came down.
Yep, Cam Newton by a mile.
Do you think it's deserved? Like, do you think he should be the chalkiest quarterback by that much?
Yep.
I think people just forget sometimes, like, you can play other quarterbacks. You don't always have to play the guy in the best spot with the best team total coming off of good weeks.
Yeah, like, he's got the best projection that I have right now. It's the best dollar for dollar mark right now. He's got very easily stackable options with him and a matchup with a team that gets carved up pretty regularly. So,
Smoking Gun asking a question I do want to answer. TJ Jones. I actually have a few TJ Joneses. He's 3K on DraftKings. And I think he is a smart pivot to the people who are saying, Golladay and Marvin Jones are going to get the big increase in role. And I think, again, if we think there's going to be some struggling with how the team adjusts, as I do, to a life without Golden Tate, I think TJ Jones could pick up some easy, 5 catch, 85 yards on a touchdown game. And for TJ Jones at 3K, why not?
I think maybe 1 or 2 lineups with him. He's not a 0 for me. But again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I have a ton of Batman.
Yeah, not a lot of reason. Like, you don't need to do much there because people aren't playing TJ Jones. So, for me in a max 20, if I have 2 lineups with him, sure. So I'm playing the chalk. Yes, Jeremiah, you are playing the chalk if you're playing Cam Newton, which is fine. He's a good play. Very low chance of complete failure. So that's good. But there's always more upside to be found. That's how I play QB. Croviel, Redskins defense. Any Redskins defense for you? I know I have some.
I have a lot.
Ooh, okay. So you think it's not a good Falcons day?
I haven't looked.
That's fair. I think the Redskins are a viable play. I mean, there's going to be a ton of dropbacks for Alex Smith, and Redskins have been sacking a lot lately and getting pressure. So I think it's a perfectly good play.
Yeah. Look, Atlanta sucks on the road, generally speaking. So I didn't see the ownership that I have of the Redskins and think, oh no, I need to change this. Now, Atlanta could go out and Julio Jones could decide that he learned how to go over the goal line. And it could just be a drubbing, but whatever. It's defense.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think there's enough opportunity there. I'm trying to think what else. The Falcons were one that came up a little bit for me. I think of a few Ravens, a few Steelers, just in case one of those guys breaks the right way. My God, good luck, guys. Remember to consolidate your credit cards on Monday to lower your interest rates from today's losses. Not if you're playing Njoku, then you'll be going to the money bank.
Not if you're playing Marvin Jones. I couldn't remember who I picked.
Yeah, Marvin Jones gonna finally rise from that 33-point game he had last week. Woof, what a dud. You want to get that guy coming off of a low.
Okay, come on now. Why are we acting like Sammy Watkins doesn't have the pedigree of a good pass catcher? Come on now.
No, but he wasn't coming off a 33-point game. I just thought it was funny that you're like, okay, this guy. This guy coming off of a giant game.
I was trying to find one of the guys that I was way over the field on. He was one of the few guys where ownership was low and I was not.
Jeremiah saying Lamar Miller MVP today. I do like Lamar Miller a little bit. I think he's interesting. It feels point chasey, but I do like him, and I think they've been using him to get pressure off of Watson. No Miller?
I don't even remember seeing his name today. If you asked me about Lamar Miller, I would have assumed that he played in the 8:00 game. How much?
2 straight 100-yard games. Getting 20 touches a game.
I don't have any. There's this stretch of guys: Tevin Coleman, Carson, Lamar Miller, Kerryon Johnson, Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, all in this mid-6s range that I don't have a single share of.
No, I think that's fair. I think to me the thing was that a lot of people probably felt that way, so that's why I didn't mind going there. And if at 5,200 on DK, people are going to 5,000. Mark Ingram instead. So I thought there was some equity in going to Miller. At under 5%. So I actually don't mind the Miller play, but I worry he's going to come back down to earth today on the road. We'll see. Spags, have you cleaned your bong water lately? Actually, yesterday, Earl. So thank you for asking.
Earl
Fountain. Earl Fountain's one of the good ones. He's one of the guys I like in chat. All right, let's go watch football. Let's go watch the David Njoku and Marvin Jones shows, respectively. Make sure to sign up for Awesemo.com. Use promo code live before lock. Again, that last hour would have been helpful for you if you had all the ownership projections and Awesemo's rankings. So people are asking Alex questions in the chat. You can find the things he actually believes every single day. Every single player on these slates are ranked by him. So go check that out. Promo code live before lock on Awesemo.com. Drop the link in chat one more time for you guys. And that's it for me. Any final thoughts before we go watch this, Josh?
No, I'm way more confident this week than I've been in prior weeks. I'm way less salty than I've been in prior weeks. I don't know if it's just because the NBA has been really fun and it's increased my DFS love, but I'm going to make that paper today.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm hoping I can follow up on my week and not disappoint myself, but we'll find out shortly. So thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you again soon. Good luck.
Peace.